Hello YouTube, it's Carlos the Rook, and I'm bringing you round 5 from the tournament I played last weekend, Chess Zone Summer Classic at my favorite place to play, Chess Zone. And in this round, I'm playing Lillian Eskol. She's rated 1854, she's the top seed in the section. This is the under 1900 section, and I'm rated 1658. So she has a score of, I think, 4 points. She was 4-0, and I was at 3. So we's playing for first place. So if I can beat her, it'll be a tie for first, and if I draw, I can get in the second place. So this was for prizes, places, everything was on the line here. So I got the white pieces, she got the black pieces. I start off with the same move I've been playing all tournament, e4. She responds e6. I had some intel that she was going to be playing the French, so I got a lot of prep in the French, so it was no problem for me. I respond d4, d5, e5 going into the advanced variation, c5 attack, counterattacking the d4 pawn. So what black does is strike at white center. So it's 2 breaks black has. c5 is 1, f6 is the second. So she goes for the early break with c5. I respond c3, keeping my pawn structure intact. The knight comes out attacking, and my knight comes out to defend. Now here she goes into a sideline, bishop d7. I'm familiar with the sideline, I've played it online. I go bishop e2, c captures, knight on g to e7, and her idea is to bring the knight here and put more pressure onto the d-pawn. So I got prep here. Knight a3, and my knight comes and defends. So now I'm well defended. And here, my opening prep has bishop e7 as the best move, and Stockfish 18 also says bishop e7 is the best move. And she played it looks like the 4th best move in the position. It's fluctuating right now. Let's get it to about, let me give it a couple seconds to see where queen b6 falls in at. Is jumping from 2nd to 4th. So f6 is also a move here. I don't have prep for that. I'm gonna have to look at that later on. And rook c8. So she played the 4th best move in the position. Queen b6. See, now at depth 27, queen b6 is not even a consideration. So the longer you let the computer run, the deeper and more analysis it gives. So now at move depth 28 is now coming back with queen b6 is the 3rd best move. So she played queen b6. And here now I'm out of prep, so I'm completely on my own. So I figured castle was the best idea. The b pawn is protected. The d pawn is well protected. So my king is not in any danger here. So I can safely castle and continue my development. And Stockfish agrees, I castle, and white has a minimum advantage here, 0.37. And now she played bishop e7. The engine wanted rook c8. And here I wasn't really sure what to do. So I went with rook b1. And the engine agrees that rook b1 is the best idea. And my idea is I want to develop this bishop, but I can't develop it because my b pawn is unprotected. So I just want to move the rook over, get some protection on this pawn, and then maybe a3 b4 would be an idea, followed by knight a3 to try and just clamp down on some squares. So I go rook b1. And here she plays a5. In this move, I see what she's doing. She's stopping my b4 idea. And I really didn't like that. Because I wanted a3 b4, and she just hinders my pawn break on the queen side. So here, the engine, and I know from my opening prep that g4 is an idea in these variations, and the engine wants g4 right now. It wants g4 knight to h4, knight captures, bishop captures. It's fluctuating between bishop e3, bishop d3, and f4. Okay, look like it's settled on bishop e3. It wants this bishop to go back to e7. Bishop d3, putting the bishop on a better square. h6, b3, knight b4, knight captures. Either the a pawn or the bishop can capture. I think bishop capture would be better. And this is what it has, and it just got white at really minimum advantage, 0.40. So that's what the engine wanted right away. So I didn't play that. It's also giving king h1 followed by g4. Just moving the king off this square, then hitting g4. The engine is also saying that's a great idea. So I went with a3, and my idea is to go b4. And she stops me immediately with a4. And I really wanted my b4, but now with a4, she takes here. I have to take back. I can't even take back with the rook. I have to bring the knight here to try and take. And then this a pawn is being hit twice by the rook and the bishop. So b4 is just, she clamped down on me on the queen side. And here, once again, Stockfish is saying king h1, g4. That's what it wants. It wants king h1, rook c8, bishop d2, h5, h3, g6, and then bishop d3. This is what Stockfish wants. Stockfish crazy. That's just crazy. I played bishop e3 in this position. And my idea is I want to develop the bishop. I want to maybe move the knight. And if this knight takes, I take back with the pawn, open up fouls towards her king. And I felt like I should be good here. So she played knight a5. And now black is slightly better. And her idea is to clamp down on the b3 square and just apply pressure here on this backwards b2 pawn. And it's saying, Stockfish says bishop d2 is the only move to stay even. Bishop d2, knight b3, bishop c3. Castle, knight a1, knight a5. That's what Stockfish wants. That's interesting. But I played knight d2, and my idea is to stop the knight from coming into b3 or into c4. Now she goes rook c8. So now this knight is a potential weakness. I go bishop d3. I just want to get the bishop to protect this knight and possibly hit the knight on f5. She go bishop b5. I feel like now I'm forced to trade. And she has a clear advantage here. Bishop captures, queen captures. And now I go for g4, hitting the knight. The knight goes over to h4. I go knight e1, just stopping any knight f3 shenanigans in case my queen has to leave. Knight c4. I capture. She captured with the rook, and that was a bad capture. The engine didn't like the capture with the rook. It wanted the D capture, knight on g2, knight captures, king captures, queen d5 check, queen f3, rook d8. That's the line the engine get. Oh yeah, because with this setup, black just clamped down on this b3 square, and white just doesn't have a break. Now with the rook captures c4, the engine wants knight g2. It wants me to trade off the knights, knight g2. But I went f4 instead. And my idea is f5 and bishop f2 hitting at the knight this way. So she goes g6. Engine says she should have went h5. Knight f3, and it says the position is equal, but it says b3 was better. So it's saying I had the b3 break, b3, rook c3. Sorry about that. That was my alarm for an upcoming lesson. Bishop captures a, b captures a4, queen to c4, queen to d2. So that's the line the engine wanted. But I went with knight f3, knight captures, rook captures, because I want to do a rook lift and get a king side attack going, similar to what I had in one of my previous rounds. And now she goes h5. I thought h5 was a pretty good move. It's opening up the squares on the h file and activate her rook. It's clear here that she has no intention of castling. She's going to keep her king in the middle. So that makes f5 even more vital. I need to get it in so I can open up towards where this king is. I go h3. Now, I considered rook h3, and the engine wants rook h3 in this position. It's saying rook h3 was better. But what I didn't like about rook h3 is, I know she can't take because it's pinned, but hold on, it was a line where I felt my rook can get trapped. Like, let's say here, h4. The rook just comes out to f3. Yeah, the rook just comes out to f3, so it doesn't get trapped. I was thinking like h4, my rook is stuck in here, how's it going to get out? But it just comes out to f3 if need be. And I can just go g5, bishop to f2, and that pawn falls. I was tweaking. I was really tweaking. So that wasn't nothing to work. That's why I didn't play rook h3, because I was scared of that. So I played h3 instead. H captures, rook to h4, hitting at this pawn, and rook g3, and the position holds here. It's saying black has an advantage because black is on an attack and I have to defend. And here she goes king d7. That was the wrong move. Stockfish wants queen b3 here. Queen b3, trying to force a queen trade. And it's saying queen captures, a captures. It wants rook d1, rook c2, when the rook g2, g5, rook d3, going after this pawn. This is a crazy line. G captures f4, bishop captures f4, rook captures g2, king captures g2, rook captures g4, king f3, rook back to h4, rook captures b3, and the position is even. Bishop g5. Hold on. Bishop g5. Then you gotta go bishop g3, because if you can't take the bishop, you'll lose your rook. Rook captures d4. Rook captures b7, and this is completely even. That's crazy. I think I like white here. These two connected passes, I think I like white. So now I kind of wish I would have went into that line. King d7. And so here, I thought for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I just could not come up with a move. It's saying, Stockfish now is saying b3. So b3, rook c3, b captures a4, hitting the queen twice, queen to c6, king to g2. Rook captures a3, bishop f2. Rook captures g3, bishop captures g3, and then it went rook h8. It has a completely even. This is the position Stockfish wanted, and it says it's completely even. So I just didn't see that, and I didn't know what to do. And I wanted f5, but it doesn't have f5 is winning. It's saying f5, g captures f5, g captures f5, e captures f5, and here I was looking at queen f3 ideas. Queen f3, trying to get a check on the king, but I was like, just king here, and and black is good. But Stockfish saying this is wrong. It's saying rook f1, and f4 is the only move. So this line was okay if she would have played here, because this is the exact line I was looking at, and I didn't. F4 is the only move. What's wrong with king d7? Queen captures f5, check. King c7. Queen captures f7. Yeah, everything's gonna fall. Queen d7. e6. No, not queen captures. Queen to d6. So yeah, this line doesn't work. f4, rook g4, then king d7, rook captures, bishop captures, queen to h3 check, king c7, bishop captures f4, bishop e7, e6 check, king b6, e captures f. Yeah, that's brutal. So that's just brutal. But I think the line here, instead of king e6, Stockfish is saying king c6, and it's a draw. The queen can capture f5. The king just goes to b6. And he's safe. So that's what Stockfish is saying. But I played rook g2 in this position, and that's just a complete blunder, because it allows rook h3, bishop f2. I'm fading back, trying to keep the rook out of my thing. So rook c8, rook h2, you double up the rooks. I see that was coming. So I take, the rook take back, king g2, queen b3. So now she just penetrated into my ranks on the third rank, and I got to do everything to stop from getting mated. Queen e2. I don't want to trade the queens and let the rook come through here in a dominant position. Bishop h4. Bishop captures, rook h1, trade off the pieces. And now queen h3 check. I go king g1, and my idea here is I want to get here, 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 through here, and just do a perpetual check and try and hold for a draw. So she go queen g3 check, king h1, getting out of the way, king e7. That's a great move. She made that move, so she's not giving me tempo. I go queen b5 anyway, and I want to get to the dark squares and see if I can get a perpetual, but she doesn't let me. Queen h3 check, king g1, queen captures g4, king h1, queen f3 check, king g1, queen e3 check, and here I should have went king g2, and I think it would have been still losing, but I could have tried some complications. So I go king h1, she takes on d4, I take on b7, king f8, and now I go queen b4 check. This is going into a losing king pawn endgame, but I don't have a choice. She takes, I take, king comes over, and you see here, if I would have been in g2 already, I'd have had one more tempo. King d7, f3, c6, king e3, king b5, king d3, and I'm one tempo away. I could have protected this pawn. King captures, king c2, king c4. You're just dancing around, and it's completely lost. And here I resign. So I blundered that rook g2 move, and it was really devastating because I could have at least got a draw and got in second place, but that wasn't to happen. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's absolutely free. Tell all your friends and family, and let's grow the channel. Have a nice day. Bye.